Hello, hello, hello everyone. Welcome back to another video. Alright everyone, let's see what we got for you right now. We have a brand that is quite obscure. Not many people are familiar with it. And some other people are familiar with a different name. And I'm going to explain to you why. What we got right in front of us right now is a 143 scale Zastava 1400, and there's a letter behind it which I cannot remember, and it's called a BJ. Now the Zastava 1400, as we probably are not familiar with it, but when we say that these models come out of the Fiat, then you recognize it a little bit more. Which this is basically a copy of the Fiat 1400 or the 1900. This is a 1400 Fiat copy. This model right here, it came out for Yugoslavia, which it was the old school name of those 7 countries that divided, and that's where this this car brand comes out of. It was starting in 1954 until 1961. I gotta tell you, it's an exact copy of a Fiat 1400, which that's what they were supposed to be. The same thing with Seat. Seat and Zastava were the first brands that started copying models from Fiat. And then we got Lada and everything. But these 2 models, they started from back in the days. Let's see what we got on in this model. Engine wise, they really share the engines like the Fiat have. But let me just make sure so you know what I'm talking about. By the way, when you look at the Fiat 1400, you know they had a convertible version, all that. This one, Zastava only kept it with the 4-door sedan, which is the one that it was supposed to basically copy for. You know what I mean? It's not supposed to get all fancy. But let's see. The 1400, it was also the first passenger vehicle produced by Seat. I'm talking about the Fiat 1400, and also the first passenger vehicle produced by Zastava. So this is the first model that started Zastava. That's good to know. I like that. Engine wise, it had a 1.4 1400. That's why it had a 1.4, and it had a 4-speed or a 5-speed manual. It was a very basic car, you know. You gotta understand that they're just starting. They're copying a model from another brand, so they want to make sure at least they could fit in with a model that's kind of accepted at least in Europe, or at least in some countries in Europe. So they want to make sure they don't just make up their own model. Now, Zastava, as you probably question, what brand is that? And when I say about you may know this brand as a different model, is because Zastava was the one that produced the Yugo. The Yugo 40, the famous Yugo that we all talk about and criticize and chew him up. What a bad car they were, and what is this, and why is that. Well, they were Zastavas, guys. So we officially had a Zastava in the North American market. We may not know it as Zastava because they were not called Zastavas here, but they were. They were just Zastavas with Yugo, because Yugo, if I'm not mistaken, was the name of the model. But that okay, Yugo was they changed the name from Zastava to Yugo. They changed the name of the models, the name of the brand. I'm sorry. I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember. Trying to see later. This must have happened in the mid-80s, right before they started exporting to the US. Alright guys, so I'm going to go around a few times and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so by the way, before I forget, this model is made by DeAgostini. DeAgostini is the brand that made this model. DeAgostini took care of a lot of the brands from Eastern Europe when it came to like producing them. FSO, Oldsit, Dacia, Lada, and others. And I think they made it's not an expensive brand whatsoever, but the quality is there. I gotta admit, sometimes they impress me with their quality. Example, the paint. In other brands, which you might know already from other videos, I quite criticize their paint. But in DeAgostini, I never had an issue. And they're quite cheap. I mean, their window quality is not the greatest. One thing they do have to chew them up. But still, their paint is not a bad. And their details are there. You can see the name of the brand in the side of the car, the trim around, the chrome pieces. It's not bad at all. Alright guys, don't forget to give me a beautiful thumbs up. I always appreciate when you guys do that. Don't forget to comment below. Do you remember these cars? Have you ever seen them? Have you seen them as a Fiat or a Seat or a Zastava? Are they still around? Yeah, I would love to hear your comments, where you guys are from and everything. Alright guys, and click and subscribe, and the bell next to the subscribe button will remind you when I'm posting more videos. Take care of yourselves more than ever, and goodbye.